What's up, y'all? It's your boy Marcus, and hey, welcome back to my channel. And hey, I got something I want to tell you because the Holy Spirit had placed this in my mind here. Well, before I get to tell you guys, well, I guess you already know what to do. You already know what to do right here, and you already know what to do right over there too. And we'll get this on the way then, okay? Okay, as you can see today, guys, I would like to give you a word here, and it's in the book of, and it's called "Put Away Childish Things." It's in the book of First Corinthians. You see, the book of First Corinthians was also written by Paul as well. Yep, it was written by Paul, the apostle. You see, Paul, he's a real man of God, and he said he'd rather be judged by. He's a guy who said he'd rather be judged by the world than be judged by Christ. Okay, now for putting away childish things, it goes like this. If you look at 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11, it says, "When I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me." Well, my Bible's a little different. So my Bible is a New International Version. So yeah, my Bible's a little different from y'all's. But in the King James Version, it says, "When I was a child, I understood as a child, I spake as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things." Another way to put it like this, let me break it down to you about putting away childish things. You know, there's a lot of things you had to give up when you become a man or a woman. Like there's a lot of childish things we had to get rid of, well, put away. Like for example, there's a lot of people out there. They say they stop vaping. You know, vaping and smoking and drinking and going out to clubs. It's all of them is not worth it. Because this is exactly what Paul telling us. Doing things that's very childish when you start to become a man, it's not worth it when you're growing up to be a man or a woman. So you see, there are a lot of things we had to get rid of, you know, like some childish stuff we had to get rid of. Like, you know, as you became a grown man, you had to make a sacrifice of something, playing your multiple days on video games. So God has spoken to me to get rid of video games so I could follow him. And this is what he also told me to do. It was like a few weeks ago on that Thursday. He told me to give up Instagram. With Instagram is all about comparing yourself to others. So when Paul became a man, what Paul is saying, when he became a man, he put away childish things and he never looked back. Because you know all the stuff he used to do when he was a child, but now as he's starting to grow up, he's starting to put all that behind him, and he never looked back. And that's something Paul was giving us an example. Like, get rid of all the childish things and don't look back on them. Because when you look at it, all those things in our childish things is very temporary. And you see, I used to watch SpongeBob SquarePants. I mean, well, we all did watch SpongeBob SquarePants. But as I got older, I'm starting to see that SpongeBob SquarePants is not as funny as it used to be. And when I was little, I used to love watching Nickelodeon and Disney and everything. I used to love watching Cartoon Network too. But now Cartoon Network is not as funny as it used to be. Because you know, back in the days when we were kids, it used to be very funny. But as we got older, it's starting to kind of phased out. So what I'm saying is that when we get rid of all the childish things, he's telling us, you know, all the childish things, yes, it's all part of saying that you got to learn to face facts. You're not a kid anymore. And for people out there, and you fellas and out there, and you ladies out there, you got to look at this, man. We're not kids anymore, all right? when he said put away childish thing, it's another way of saying that it's time to grow up. Because think of it, we're grown, we're adults now, and we're gonna have to put away all the childish things. And I know people be like saying like, "Who wants to be acting like adults?" We should act like adults. You gotta start to face it. We're not little kids anymore. It's time to grow up and learn to take some responsibilities. So yeah, that's exactly what Paul is telling us. Fellas, Paul was telling us when he became a man, he put away childish things. Some of you fellas out there that be thinking that y'all still be pimping on getting them girls, but you do realize you can't find you a godly woman when you're in a club or in a party, because it's not going to work that way. Saying if you're a believer of Christ and if she's falling for the world, it's not going to work, because the Bible said, "Do not be yoked together with an unbeliever." And fellas, sometimes you gotta learn to face it. Like, you're a husband. Fellas, look, you're a husband now, and you got a wife and about like 2 or 5 kids to take care of. Well, some men have 12. Well, anyway, you gotta learn to start facing it. There are times where you're gonna have to grow up from things, like going out to party, getting drunk and wasted. It's not worth it anymore, because everything we see when you start to grow up and become a man, you see that everything is not worth it. And plus, you can't do all those things like you used to when you were young. Because I remember, because fellas, look, we all do remember when we were kids, we used to do a lot of childish things. But we were young and foolish. But you know what? We learned a lot since then. But as we start becoming a man, as we start becoming adults, we got to put away all the childish things and never look back on them. Saying when people say Marcus, because I had a lot of people saying that, Marcus, I remember you used to be dancing and going out to party. I say, yes, I used to be that guy, but I'm not that guy no more. So those days are over. Because when Paul said that he put away all his childish things when he became a man, he's telling everybody that it's time to grow up. Sometimes it's time to grow up. It's okay to be a kid at heart. I'm not saying this is crazy to be a kid at heart. Because think of it. Sometimes even grown-ups like to have fun too. And don't get me wrong though. But what Paul was saying, don't stay in that habit too long. Because most men be going down like the midlife crisis. I know there's a lot of males out there that having a midlife crisis when they hit age 30 or age 40. Because the midlife crisis, it happens to everybody. When you refuse to grow up and you want to catch up on things where you've been missing out on when you can't do all the things anymore. But when you gotta realize this, guys, you can't do all those things like you used to, because all that stuff right there, I said, because all that stuff you used to do is not really fun anymore. Trust me, man, I understand. Well, believe me, I know it's hard. It's really hard to grow up sometimes, but Paul said you gotta do it. For now we see our own reflections as in a mirror, then we shall see the face to face. Now I know in a part, then I shall know fully, and even I am fully known. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. So this is exactly what Paul was trying to tell us. Love others. Love is the greatest thing of all. But that's it in the video right now. But hey, thank you so much for giving your time to listen to me. Listen to what the Holy Spirit has placed it in my heart. Just remember, Jesús te ama mucho. And yo te quiero mucho también. And I'll see you later on my next video, okay? God bless y'all. Bye.